Assalamu guys, Afan back again with another video, and in this video what we are going to be looking at is how to sort a list, how to remove duplicates from that list, and how to give a count of each entry in that list. And we'll look at a couple of different ways to do these things. Before we get started, uh, just an update. My good friend Jangi and I would be cooperating in giving these trainings in future. So keep a lookout for that. And we have a WhatsApp group also going on. I'll put a link in the description and you can use that link to actually join the group. So let's get started. So here we have the name of fruits, and there are about 20 entries, and you can see there's some duplicates. For example, you have orange, and orange here. So this orange appears uh, 3 times, and let's see, nectarine, nectarine, nectarine appears also 3 times. Then you have cherry, cherry. This appears 4 times, and so on and so forth. So basically what we're doing is we will be sorting this list, and then what we'll do is the next step, what we'll do is we'll remove all the duplicates, and then we'll do a count of how many times each single entry appeared in this list. Okay, so let's get started. So here we have uh, the list of names. So we are going to be using a helper column here. We'll call that rank, and then we'll have another helper column called repeats, and then rank plus repeats. Okay, so let me just put a border on this. Oops, there you go. Okay, so the formula that will go here, what we need to do is we need to find, use counters. In this list, we need to find all the entries which are less than this. So basically what that means is when we do when we have alphanumeric entries, and when you use less than or greater than, basically what it's doing is looking at whether it appears before or after in alphabetical order. So what we want to do is we are going to highlight this list here, okay, comma, and basically what we're doing is we're going to be counting how many less than the first entry, okay, close bracket, meaning how many entries appear before nectarine in alphabetical order. Okay, now if I were to send this formula down, what will happen is this part here would start creeping. Let me show you. I'm just going to move it down, copy it down one cell, and I'll show you. See, over here is B2 to B26. Here should be B3 to B27. And this B3, we're going to leave that as it is because we want it to move forward, but we do not want the range to creep forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a cursor here, and then highlight this and hit F4. What that will do is put a dollar sign in front of the B and a dollar sign in front of the 2, and then a dollar sign in front of the B and a dollar sign in front of the 26. When you do that, what that means is this range is locked. Now, if I were to copy it all the way down, see, if you notice here is B2, B26, B2, B26, and see how that first part remains static? And it's only the second part here, this part here, this keeps changing. So this basically tells you there are 10 entries which in alphabetical order come before next ring. Okay. Now, what we need to do is find out how many of these actually repeat. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the counters formula. Okay. And what we're going to do is we can say from B2 to B2, meaning how many times does this, whatever's in B2, appear in this range in closed bracket. Okay. Now, if I put this down, what's going to happen is it will be, let me just move it down one cell and let me show you what happens, is B3, B3, B3. So that doesn't do us any good. So what we want to do is, basically when we come down here, we need to have this range expand. So in this, for the second row, it should include the first two entries. In the third row, it should include the first three entries. So basically what we need to do is we need to lock the row for the first entry, okay, and let the other one expand as it is. So let me show you how that does, what it does. There you go. Now, see how the first part is static. It's only the second part that keeps changing. Okay. So what we can do is we can send this all the way down. Okay. Now, if you see, what that means is till here it only finds one. Okay. Now, if we come down here, sorry, come down here. Now it's the first two entries, the first three entries. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to add these two together, and we will send this down. Okay. So now you see, we can already see the apple is coming up as 1. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll have a, we'll get a cell here. Oh, sorry, a column here called rank, and then sorted name. Okay. We'll have 1, 2. That's the ranking here, and we'll go all the way down to 25. And for the sorted name, what we'll do is we will use, what we need to do is we need to find this one in this column here. And so that's this guy here. Let me just put this. Okay. And then when there's a match, when this matches an entry in this column, whatever is the name of the fruit needs to be brought here. Similarly, 2, let me get this yellow color, and we look through here where there's a 2, there you go. Okay, so A for apple, B for blackberry, 3 is, let's use a different color. Now let's see, 3 is here, there's cherry, okay, and so on and so forth. So the way we do that is we use our index match formula. Index array is now which row number from this you need to pick up. What we need to do, we use the match formula. Lookup value, we're looking up this number here, and the lookup array is this whole list here, comma, match type is exact match, close bracket, the first close bracket is for the match, and the second close bracket is for the index. Enter. So you've got apple, and if I double click and to send the formula down, see what happens. Now what happened was we need to lock these ranges like we have done earlier. And now if I send this down, it works. Okay. So you see, uh, if I don't lock that, it, like I showed you over here, the formula creeps. Let's do it. I'm just going to do an undo, and I'll show you again. See over here. In fact, one more. Yeah, here you go. So B2 to B6, or B26, and E2 to E26. Here should be B3 to B27, E3 to E27. Okay, E3 to E2. So this, the range is creeping. See how it's from here. In fact, let me just do the first one. Now here it starts from the first entry here and the first entry here. Now if I go here and look at the formula, it starts from the second row. It's missing the first row. That's because the formula is creeping. If I go to the third one, it's going further down. It's going to the third row. So what we need to do is we need to have this locked. Again, what we do is we highlight that, hit F4, that will put a dollar sign in front of the B and a dollar sign in front of the 2, a dollar sign in front of this B and a dollar sign in front of this 26. Okay, and I'm going to highlight E2 to E26, hit F4, that will put a dollar sign in front of the E, dollar sign in front of the 2, a dollar sign in front of the 2E, and a dollar sign in front of the 26. Hit enter. And now I'm going to double click and send this format down, and then you'll see this will work out. There you go. Okay, so it's got apple in the first place, blackberry in the second place, then cherry we had 4. See 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 cherries. Then grape is, we have 2 grapes, 1 and 2. Then mango, we had 2 mangoes, would be 1 and 2. N, M, N nectarine, 3 nectarines, 1, 2, 3. And O, orange, 1, 2, 3. Pear, LMNOP, pear is only 1. PQRS, strawberry, strawberry is only 1. STUVWW is watermelon, and watermelon is 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so we have got this list sorted. Okay, now that's one way to sort a list. Okay, what you can also do is, in fact, let's wait for that. Let me finish removing the duplicates and giving you a count of each, and then I'll show you a quick way to do this. Now, what we need is, we only need unique entries here, but we've got a problem here. We've got this error messages here. That's because these are blank. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll wrap this in if error. This means is, if there's no error, give whatever this, the solve this formula. If there is an error, just put a blank. Okay, and now I'm going to push this list down. Oops, and you'll see these will disappear. There you go. Okay, now if I were to type apple here, see how the list changed. Everything moved down 1 to make a space for this apple here in the second place. Now if I get rid of this, blackberry would come at number 2. So it's the list is getting sorted as you type in this data entry part of the screen. Now what we need to do is we will look at try and remove duplicates here. Okay, so we have uniques. Okay, Here what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and use the unique formula, sorry, unique function, array, and hit enter. And what it did was it only, showed you one entry per item. Okay, so apple only has one, so that you only got one. There's only one blackberry. Cherry, there were four, but it only shows as one. Grape were two, it shows as one. Mango were two, it shows as one. Nectarine was three, only one entry. So it basically was, what it has done is it has here we sorted, here we removed all the duplicates. Okay, now what we do is we need to find out how many apples are here. Okay, so again what we'll do is we'll use the count, criteria range, comma, criteria, close bracket, and again we need to wrap this in, make sure this doesn't expand, as it doesn't creep forward. So we highlight F4 to put dollar signs, enter. So there's only one apple. Blackberry, there's only one. Cherry, there are four. Grapes, there are two. Mangoes, two. Nectarine is three. Oranges are three. Pear is only one. Strawberry is only one. Watermelon are two. There you go. So we sorted this list here, remove all the duplicates, and now we're giving you a count of each. Now once again, if I were to put in, do some more data entry here, like for example, if I put another apple here, hit enter, basically what's going to happen is this list is going to scoot down one. Blackberry right now is at second position. It will move down to third to free up the second. Put an apple in here, and the count should turn to 2. There you go. Say if they move down one, now apple at 2. Say for example, we put another mango here. Again, it moved down. Nectarine at 3. So if I were to put in another nectarine here, this orange will move down to 17th position. So let's see if that happens. Excuse me. And it did. Orange is now at number 17. Okay. Nectarine, you have 4. So nectarine is showing us 4. So basically what we did was we sorted the list, we removed duplicates, we gave you a count. Now, there is, to sort, the way, how we use the function here, we can also use a function, the sort function, to do essentially what we did here. Okay, if I would do this, that's exactly what it does. Okay, it's sorting it automatically. And then what you can do is you can use this on this list here and do a count. Now, there is another method, the third way to do this, and that is using pivot tables. So what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight this cell here. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to erase these 3 entries which I just did. Okay. And go to insert, pivot table. Okay. Now what we need to do is name our fruit. Click here, we get the rows, and then what that does is it automatically, as a function of the pivot table, it removes all the duplicates. And now what we need to do a count. So basically what we can do is these numbers that we have, the serial numbers, if we count for each entry, like for example oranges, I'm just gonna go and color them. There you go. So if I were to count 1, 2, 3, that means there are 3 oranges. Okay, so I can just do a count of the serial numbers. Now it says sum. I'm just going to change that to count, and there you have it. You have 5 blanks, and you got 1 apple, 1 blackberry, 4 cherry. Now if I were to put in apple here, you see this updates, but the pivot table hasn't. It's still showing as apple as one. So what you need to do is you can either go to pivot table, analyze, and do a refresh, or you can just right click on it and click on refresh, and now it has made apple as 2. So basically apple, there were 2 entries for apple. So just to recap, we had a list of fruits, names of fruits. We created a column called rank. And the way we did that, we counted how many less than, meaning how many entries appear before each entry alphabetically. So we use the less than sign. Then we figure out how many times each repeats, and then we add the ranking and the repeats to get this column here. Now, for the sorted name, what we did was we used a combination of index and match. The reason why we did index and match is because what we need to do is we are looking up this in this column here, and based on where it finds a match, it looks towards its left. Now, if we had these names on the right, we could have used VLOOKUP, but VLOOKUP only looks towards the right. With index and match, we had done a video on it earlier also, where I show you exactly how you use index and match to look towards the left, as opposed to only looking towards the right in VLOOKUP. Now, those of us who have Office 365, they have the advanced version of lookup, which allows you to go left and right. But the standard Excel did not have that. So here we have to use index and match to look towards the left. So that's how we got the name, the sort of name, and then we use the unique function to remove all the duplicates, and then we use the count function to do a count. That was one way, and then we use the sort function to do a sort, and then we could have, based on this, we could have done unique to remove all the duplicates from the sorted list here that came from the sort function, and then we could use a countif to count the number of times each entry appears. Okay. The third method was you could just do a pivot table, which sorts it, remove all the duplicates, and does a count for it, in one easy package. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please kindly give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And if you have any comment, please put it down in the comment section below. I will be uploading this on the Facebook page as well. So you can, if you want, you can download this Excel file just to play with it. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time.